live. Another week. I'm still Kirk, and this is still Stop Watching The Office. This week, I'm recording on Sunday, so I wanted to do a little different, and I wanted to talk about weekend movies that distracted me from watching The Office. The weekend isn't over yet, so I still might get all of this episode in. But I saw a couple movies in theaters and, on streaming. So I kind of wanted to bring those up and talk about how those helped distract me from watching The Office. The first one was Deadpool 2, which came out this weekend. I saw in theaters early Saturday morning. So let's kick off this episode. Hit it, Dolly.
And I stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition and yawn and stretch and try to come to life. Jump in the shower and
a couple reasons to start it with Dolly because, the first reason, obviously, Dolly because she's amazing. But if you've seen Deadpool 2, that early on in the movie, that song does play. Deadpool, he's kind of going through kind of like a backstory of catching up on what he's been up to, and he says, hit it, Dolly, and that song plays. He starts beating up people. Not just beating up, he starts cutting their hands off. But, Deadpool 2 was my first big distraction this weekend, this movie weekend that I'm talking about. Very funny movie. If you saw Deadpool 1, you know what you're getting into with Deadpool 2. It picks up right where that one left off. It's the same tone, the same comedy. Same violence, same R rating, same, breaking the fourth walls, same pop culture references. It's good. It's very funny. I did a video, my impressions in the car, right when I left that. But, and I went home and I watched Deadpool 1, which is the second movie to help me not watch The Office. Because I wanted to talk about it here, so I wanted a good opinion on it. And for me, for some reason, it's hard. When I leave a movie theater to get my opinions together on it, because I'm trying to remember everything, I'm trying to process everything. So I watched the first one when I got home, and it did help me remember the second one. If you're going to go watch Deadpool 2, I would advise you to watch Deadpool 1 right before, because there's a lot of I don't want to say inside jokes, but little small jokes that you'll probably miss if you don't have Deadpool 1 in your head, because there's so many small references and continuing jokes that Deadpool 2 finishes or keeps up on from Deadpool 1, and the payoff on it is so funny. It's with cameos, with just small stuff you'll randomly see. It's so funny. I might have to watch that again because there's probably some small stuff I missed, but Deadpool 2 was so good. It starts out funny, the opening scene. If you watch Marvel movies, if you're into that opening scene is amazing. And it's part of a continuing joke, of a rival Deadpool has in the Deadpool universe. It jumps off with that. Then it hits with that Dolly song, which is so amazing, 9 to 5. The good thing about this one is, since it's not a origin story like the first one was, we have to get a lot of backstory. The first one, the timeline jumps around a lot. It starts out with an action scene, and it goes back and forth. And it can get kind of confusing. This one, it does that a little in the beginning to catch you up. And then the story is linear after that, which is really good. It flashed, but in the beginning you flash back, and then you get caught up into the current story. I think all the same main characters, not the villains, but the same main characters are kept over from this one. And he does end up, not joining the X-Men. I don't want to spoil this, is spoiler free. But he, because in the first one, Colossus keeps wanting him to join the X-Men, and he keeps clowning them. But he does end up, he becomes an X-Men trainee. And he has a little yellow trainee shirt. That whole part is funny. He ends up back in the mansion. That part is hilarious. Keep your eyes peeled on that part. There's a little Easter egg in there that's I mean, it's a couple Easter eggs, a couple funny parts, but there's one main one it's a payoff from the first movie. Like I said, it's super funny. What else? I took notes. X-Force, like in the trailer, they showed him teaming up with, which is what X-Force is. Domino, that's the woman character. She's very good in it. She's very funny. Her character, I love her character. I can't think of her real name. She has a really cool real name, but I can't think of it. But they like team up. And you see them jumping up that back of the helicopter, and the guy Peter. That part is so funny. That whole X-Force scene is so funny, because like him teaming up, and it's like compared to like the Avengers teaming up, and that whole what's going on with that movie and this team up, it's so funny. That X-Force part is so funny. Like right after that happens, that leads to like two of the most funniest sequences in the whole movie. It's amazing. I don't want to give anything away. Yeah, Peter was amazing. The only thing I will spoil, Peter, aka Sugar Bear. Just watch out for that. Yeah, Deadpool 2 was good. If you love that type of movie, if you're okay with that, it's very good. It was the whole theater was laughing most of the movie. This is something I was thinking about too. Almost every main character gets like a joke in. It's weird. I was thinking about that. Like, if you saw in the previews and the trailers, like you see the main villain is Cable, who is a time traveler. If you know lore about Marvel, even he gets jokes in, and his back and forth with Deadpool is very good. But like every main character gets a joke in. Villains, heroes, side characters, everybody gets a joke in, and it all works. I love that movie. Well, I really liked it. I won't go that far. It's very good. Watching the first one and the second one, them watching those two movies together, because there's so much payoffs in the second one that there's little side comments in the first one that get paid off in the second one. I love that. That's why I said watch it together. The kid who you see is like him trying to save from Cable was funny too. That kid was hilarious. Him and his pen. You'll see him and his pen. Just remember that. Yeah, I really don't do reviews. I can't stand reviews. If you like something, go out and see it. If you don't want to see it, just wait for it to come out of video. But never listen to reviews. Like your own tastes and opinions. Just watch it. But this one is really good. So I'll call that my impressions. So those are the first two movies. Later on that night, I ended up watching... For some reason, this movie was stuck in my head. I think partially because I was watching YouTube videos, and there's this YouTube channel that I'm subscribed to called Watch Mojo. I think it's a website too, but I only watch them on YouTube. And they do a lot of top 10s and ratings. That's the main category of their videos. And of course, like I watch it so much, and I watch other things so much, I get recommendations on YouTube. And they had a video, it was like the top 10 fun facts or unknown things about The Office. Of course, I watch Office bloopers or stuff about The Office on YouTube, and I watch their top 10. So, of course, it was recommended to me. This is my tie in The Office. Wait for it. But one of the things, well, not one, but a couple of the things, Creed, who is an amazing character. In real life, he was in a band, and I can't think of the band right now, and I don't have it in front of me. But back in the 60s and 70s, he was in a band. Actually, now Creed still does like live performances with him singing music because he has a good voice. But he was in a band, and the Christmas episode where they're doing karaoke, I think was the one when the Benihana Christmas, the song he's singing at the end of it, really good song. That's an actual song from the band he was in the 60s and 70s. And it's like, that blew my mind. Like, small stuff like that, I love. But another thing was they were talking about was the 40-Year-Old Virgin, which Steve Carell was in. I think it came out the first year the show was just started, or like that early pilot season. But they were saying there's two cameos in it, which I knew about. Jenna Fisher. There's an early, like, in the movie, there's an early club scene. She's like an extra. I don't know if it was her first role or what, but like, if you freeze frame, you can see her in a couple shots. And Mindy Kaling plays Paul Rudd's ex-girlfriend in the movie. That I knew. So, like, for some reason, that movie was stuck in my head. So I was like, I got to go home and watch it. And I came home. I watched Deadpool 1. Then I went on Netflix. And, of course, it was recommended to me because Netflix is in my head from watching so many episodes of The Office. So it was like, hey, I know you want to watch 4-Year Virgin. Here it is, right on the first page. So I watched that, and I just remember how amazing that movie is and, like, how good Steve Carell is in it. Yeah, so that was the other movie I watched, 40 Virgin, which still stands up. It came out, I think, 2003 or 2004. It still stands up, and it's still funny. And it still just shows how funny of an actor Steve Carell is, who have done some movies that haven't really stood up, but 40 Virgin does stand up for him as far as comedies go. I heard he was really good in A Foxcatcher, but I just can't bring myself to watch that. I've seen the documentary about that movie, which is really good, but I don't think I could watch that movie. I can't take. I've seen The Office too many times to take Steve Carell in like a drama role, which is sad because he's probably a good. From what every review I've seen that movie he was really good in as that character. He was like the character was like an owner of a. Like not gymnastics, but a wrestling team that ended up killing someone. But yeah, I don't think I could do it. Same thing with like Dwight, sticking with The Office. That I can't take, not Dwight, what's his name? Oh, I can't think of his name. That plays Dwight. Something Rain Wilson, yes. Because it was a preview for a movie, some shark movie called The Meg, where it's like a megalodon, and he plays like a wisecracking character in it. I was like, that's just Dwight. Dwight, stopped being a paper salesman and got a job working on a boat, or he's a marine biologist now. That's what Dwight does now. That's all I see. I feel bad for that, but hey, the mind sees what it wants. So yeah, that was my movie weekend. Other than those, I tried watching Gremlins for some reason. Older movies are sometimes hit or miss with me. A lot of movies I end up watching nowadays, I love that villainous people in movies nowadays don't turn out to be like stereotypical villains. Like a lot of movies now, they make a villain with a good point. Big example of Avengers with Thanos. Same thing with Black Panther. Same thing with Deadpool, honestly. You make a villain with a good point and you sell that to the audience. Older movies, like, you know who the villain is. They're crazy. They say outrageous things and they're just villainous. They're cartoonish. They're loud. And that's what was happening in the Gremlins. It just kind of got me out of. I'll probably go back to it. That's a movie I only saw a little bit of as a kid because it was scary and I was scared of everything as a kid. Other than that, those are the only movies I watched. I haven't watched an episode of The Office yet, which is good. It's Sunday. I'll probably watch Bob's Burgers tonight. I think their season finale is tonight. I'm staring at a picture of Tina right now that says I'm a strong, sensual woman. So that'll be my like binge show, even though it's coming on live. I'll watch that tonight. Or tomorrow on Hulu. But yeah, that's it. That was my movie weekend to get me away from watching The Office, which led me to 40 Virgin, which led me to thinking about The Office. So thanks for listening. Watching, listening, subscribing, liking, downloading, whatever the mood strikes you. But thanks to this short one. I'm working on another show. Working on watching another show that's been replacing The Office that I'll probably talk about next episode. I'm trying to get through some more episodes of watching that. So I'll let you know about that soon. So thanks for listening. Bye, guys.